all my beautiful grandchildren, and welcome back to yet another episode of Grandma's Late Night Hotline. Now, tonight, we have some incredible calls lined up for you. By the way, I'm your host, the real grandma, the one, the only grandma that you really need out there. And before we get started on the show, I feel like I should take a moment and I should thank you, the listener, for tuning in and being a part of this show. No matter how many of you there are out there, 3, 4, maybe even 5 listeners, I want to thank each and every one of you. You've done an incredible job. Now, tonight, I hope that what I have lined up for you is nothing other than spectacular. Our first caller is something that is quite extravagant, something very interesting. A man who has managed to make an entire living off of huffing farts. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we can get him to pick up. All right. I understand that he's a very busy man and he has a lot going on in his world. So we'll see. I just love doing this. It's just such a hoot. Got a ring. That's always a good sign. At least one ring, right?
Your call has...
Hello? Hello? This is Grandma's Late Night Hotline. How's it going?
What's up, man?
Hello?
How you doing, Grandma?
I'm not too bad, man. I'm not too bad. So I have a message here that you have a bit of an interesting way of living. Is this Dax I'm speaking to?
Yeah, this is him.
Okay. What's going on, Dax?
Yes, this is Dax.
Okay. Dax Shepard?
Dax Shep is who I'm named after, yes, sir. Dax Shep.
Okay, Dax Shep. Do you have any relation to the famous Dax Shepard?
No, other than just big fan. Big fan, and that's who I was named after.
Okay. And is Dax is your name at birth, I assume, correct?
Of course.
Okay, good. So tell me a little bit more about yourself. What do you do? Tell me more.
What do I do right now, or what do I do for a living?
Well, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's start with what are you doing right now? What are you up to right now, Dax?
Right now, I'm laying on my couch with my dog, watching the movie Don't Look Up with Leonardo DiCaprio. And I was on the verge of falling asleep, so you called me right at the right time.
Oh, that's perfect. I'm happy to hear it.
I don't want to fall asleep. It's too early.
Yeah, I was going to say you're an early bedtime guy, huh? It's 8:00, Dax. I mean, I'm a grandma and I'm out here pushing it a little later than that, But okay, so yeah. Right now you're watching a movie. Now, paint a picture for your day to day. My document here says that you make money in a bit of an interesting way. I mean, what do you do for a living?
So we own and operate Fetish Nature Films, which is the world's largest fetish porn studio, according to clipsforsales.com.
Okay, interesting. So according to clipsforsales.com, the largest fetish industry. So what do you have a niche? Do you have a specialization? What do you specialize in?
Absolutely. Our number one is face farting. Just farting in general for all girls, all female farting.
You cut out there for a brief moment. I'm sorry about that. What did you say?
Female farting, girls farting.
Okay.
Followed up by, yep.
Interesting. So how long have you been in the fart game?
So I personally have had the fetish for probably 10 years. Not sure where it came from or how it started. But then about a little over a year ago, we were struggling on bills, and I said, "Hey, let's make some fart porn." And right away, our sales. We went on OnlyFans and on clipsforsale.com, and we immediately just started making a lot of money. In the first week, we made about $4,000, and by the end of that first month, we cleared about 18,000, and then it's just gone up from there.
Wow, that's kind of incredible. So when you say we, I mean you have a partner, or do you ever call her a fartner?
I have not called her a fartner, but that's fine. We can call her that for now. That's pretty fine.
Okay, yeah. I'm amazed that you've never tried to at least call her that. You know, I mean, I feel like that would be my go-to. So, like, how long have you been with your partner, and at what point in your relationship did you breach the like, hey, can you just like blow a dusty one down my throat for me?
So, let's see. We've been dating for about 10 years. We've been married for 2. It's been about a year into it, I would say, a year or 2 into it. I used to always get her to sit on my face. And then about at some point in time when she was sitting on my face, I just started to just say, like, hey, if you have to fart, like, it's totally fine. You know what I mean? Kind of like casually without like dropping the bomb. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
and then eventually I was just like, yeah, just do it. So I was never actually into eating farts at any point in time. It was mainly just smelling them. So I would just mainly get her to fart in my face and I would sniff it up.
Huh. Okay, that's very, very interesting. So, I mean, a lot of respect for her for just like being totally on board with that. I mean, it sounds like you found yourself the perfect partner. That's kind of love at first sight, isn't it? I mean, it's beautiful, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, fuck yeah, that's great. So like, you said about 10 years ago you noticed that you had the fetish, and then you also met your partner about 10 years ago as well. Was there something about like your particular partner's brand that like brought you into this world, or were you already kind of dabbling before you met her and before you got serious?
So I've always been into butts and smelling them to an extent. Like my first girlfriend back in like 8th grade, you know, I would have her sit on my face, and you know, I liked the way that it smelled, and I liked the way that it tasted. I was licking ass back then before it was cool. Used to have girls like, you know, confused, like, why do you want to lick my ass? You know, I like, what are you doing? And it was just always kind of my niche. And then I guess just as I got older, you know, I guess just eating the ass and smelling it just wasn't enough, I suppose.
Okay, interesting. So like, do you have a preferred method of like fart ingestion? Like, is there like a bag involved, or like a mask? What do we paint me a picture here?
No, I like it directly from the hole, brother. You know.
Okay, straight from the hole.
Don't get me wrong, I like leggings. Leggings are nice. Leggings are nice. Pajamas are nice, but nothing hits you quite like just the bare asshole.
Right. Just straight from it. It's like the intravenous method of fart huffing, and I love that. I love that for you. Okay, so now my next question would be like, is there a certain like, what do you look for in a good fart, or you know what I'm saying? Like have you ever like just, is there a fart that's no good, or are they all just like good?
So a lot of it depends on the woman. So like, for instance, like I think part of it goes into the fact that women are just so much cleaner. You know, they're fully shaven. Like, if you were to look at my asshole, it's a dark and scary place that no man or woman should ever go anywhere near. You know, right. But then when you look at like a pristine girl's asshole, it's usually pink. You know what I mean? It's pretty. It's nice, hopefully well kept. You know what I mean? Shaven. I don't like hairy. I like them shaven. And you know, there's people with this niche. It's the number 2 fetish worldwide, potentially number 1 now because of our studio. But you know, it's everyone has their own, you know, cup of cheese, as I like to call it. Now, would I say that at this point I've at this point, I've filmed with over 40 girls, and I've smelled a lot of different farts at this point. And I would definitely say that there are some farts that are pretty fucking foul and pretty nasty. So some farts that I'm definitely like, yeah, I don't want any more of those, you know. And typically what we refer to those in this business is that they would be, I would consider them to be almost chemically wrong. So like there's been 2 or 3 girls' farts that I've smelled that I've been like, okay, like I think you should see a doctor.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So, let's see. I believe that the last thing that we were talking about was. All right. So, let's see. I believe that the last thing that we were talking about was the difference between a good fart and a bad fart, right? So, I mean, like, have you noticed that there is anything in a diet in particular that makes a fart better or worse?
Particularly, like, I don't like seafood, so like. If they eat seafood, then you can kind of tell. You know what I mean? So I'm not a fan of that.
Really?
Really? Yeah, not at all. Yeah.
Oh,
really.
That's crazy. So you can tell, like, if they've had a couple shrimp on the bobby, you know?
Yeah, 100%. So it's funny you say that because, like, if you give a girl, say, like, Chick-fil-A, their farts will smell like Chick-fil-A. You get McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, they typically smell kind of similar to those places. So, like, my favorite would be, like, the Chick-fil-A farts. Those are some dank farts right there. That shit's fucking delicious. You know what I'm saying? Grandma?
Yeah, I can't say that I've ever really taken the time to differentiate between a Chick-fil-A and, like, an all-you-can-eat crab buffet fart, but I'm glad that you have. That's incredible. Yeah. So, how often do you guys eat Chick-fil-A in your household?
Not very often, but you know, sometimes it's necessary for when we hire talent.
Oh, really? Okay, interesting. So it's not just you and your partner. There are other people involved in your studio. Is that correct?
Yes, that is heavily correct. Yeah. So we've hired, like I said before, we've hired over 40 different women for this.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so you have like a whole operation going on.
Yes, that's correct. We're a studio.
Wow. Okay, so now let's get into like the logistics of this operation that you have going on here. So like what exactly brought you to this moment of monetization where you're like, you know what, fuck it, let's sell farts?
So basically just, you know, down, just like anyone really, like what they kind of do when they're at their, I don't want to say I was at my lowest because I wasn't physically at my lowest, but like mentally or financially probably our lowest. You know, we were behind on bills. We own a house. Our taxes were due. We were just behind. And I said to my wife, hey, listen, I've been subscribed to a lot of different girls on OnlyFans for a long time. I've been, you know, buying these videos for a long time. I'm a big porn addict myself, you know. I said, I think that if we tried to make some porn, I think that we could do it in a way that would better fit what the people want. You know what I mean? And I think that she said, okay, she was like, okay, what do you think we can make? And I said, I think we can make, you know, an extra $1,000, $2,000 a month, and that would really help us. And then from there, it just flew off, man.
Wow, that's crazy. So you said that it was like almost an instantaneous success, right?
Yeah, literally like the first week.
Wow, that's crazy. So like pretty much right away you were like, okay, this is what I'm doing now. Now, like give me an idea these days of like what type of money can you make in the fart industry?
Well, I don't want to get too into that part, but
sure.
We clear about, you know, up to or around in the area of $1 million a year, or half. Yeah,
that's crazy. That's some big money off of farts. That's crazy. So I mean, like, what are you feeling about the longevity of this business? Like, are you feeling like this is kind of an in and out type of thing, or are you planning on just like riding this train forever?
So originally my plan was to kind of just, so let me start here. The Brazilians run the market for farting. originally.
Really?
There's
The
multiple Brazilians. Yeah, and it's funny because if you watch South Park, there's an episode called Overlogging where essentially the world runs out of internet or something and they don't know what's going on, so they all move to like California to go find out what's going on. And Randy ends up buying like porn in like a tent village essentially. And when he's sitting there, he tells them to look up Brazilian fart porn. Now, Brazilian fart porn is, and that was 2014. So it's Brazilian fart porn is the main per se thing for farting and girls farting, and obviously the Brazilian girls are bad as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So
of course.
So basically, my idea originally was just obviously me and my wife, and we just do an OnlyFans thing. But once I saw the potential that it had, I said, let me make a studio, and I can make the American version of what Brazil's doing. And now that I've successfully done that, and I've proved how good farting is and how well it sells, there are other studios or other people popping up on our radar. So longevity-wise, I don't really know. Obviously, we're number one. We've been number one on most sites rankings, at least since December of 2024. So, like, as long as that continues and as long as we continue to profit and make money, then we'll be doing this for, X amount of years, 10, 20 years,
Wow. Okay. So you think you've got about 10, 20 years of this in you. And I respect that. I really do. So like, yeah, do people that are in this scene typically fall in and fall out, or are they they in this for the long run?
They're in it for the long run.
Interesting. Okay. And I wouldn't say that I didn't expect that, but I also am kind of a little surprised. You know what I mean? I don't really know what you do to maintain relevancy in this scene. So have you been managing your finances well, or have you been just kind of fuck it, I'm making fart money, let's go, baby?
No, we've been managing our money quite well. We're going to buy a house in about 2 months, a bigger house, obviously. We bought a Cadillac because we needed a new car. But we've been saving our money and just being careful. We have lawyers, we have accountants, we have everything that we need to basically keep track of everything, keep it safe, keep it legal, and keep our money tucked away and safe.
Dude, solid. That's very important. I like that. I like to hear that a lot. So my major question is, have you ever gotten pink eye?
I did once.
Okay, one time. That's actually pretty good for 10 years of huff and farts. One time with pink eye, that's really good. What happened?
So getting pink eye is actually a myth. You can't actually get it from a fart. You can look that up. But the way I got it is when you have girls squatting over your face or sitting in things and farting on your face, once in a while something unlucky comes out, and at that time it shot directly into my eye.
Something mucky, is that what you said? Like feces? You got your eye shit into?
That's correct. Yeah, it pulled up in my left eye.
Oh man, dude, that's brutal. Okay, so I mean, honestly though, that's not that bad. Of all of the job dangers that are out there in the world, the one pink eye, who cares? Who gives a shit? That's really not that bad.
Yeah, I took some eye drops for a week and I was good. The trade-off really isn't bad at all,
No, I mean, shit, I would take that. That's really not bad at all. All right, interesting. So, my last couple questions here, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but have you told your family and friends in your life? Are you open about this, or is this a totally anonymous secret thing for you?
So a lot of my family knows, and a lot of my and I think all of my friends know at this point,
Okay, and what was it like when you first started? I mean, I would assume that it helps a lot to be yeah, this is my thing, but I'm also making a ton of fucking money, right? I would assume that helps break the ice, right?
Yeah, that's exactly true. That's exactly what happened too.
I see. So you kind of kept it under the wraps until like this became like a real deal thing for you, and then it was like, I don't really give a shit if you like it or not. I'm fucking making money out here, baby. I'm fucking slanging farts. Get real.
Exactly. I didn't quit my day job for 3 months until I was like, okay, this is going to be a thing. This is going to work. Then once it did, I pushed forward.
Wow. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations on that. Did you think when you were a kid that you were going to be doing this? Like when all the other kids were like, I want to be an astronaut. Were you like, yeah, get real, retard. I'm selling farts, dude.
No, I never thought that. But like I said, I didn't really get the fetish until about my 20s.
Huh, that's so interesting. I guess kind of a late thing for you. Wow. All right, man. Well, dude, honestly, all I can say is keep it up. I'm over here thinking that, I'm ridiculous for wearing a grandma's dress. But like you're over here killing it, dude, as a fart connoisseur. And I love that.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, trust me, if there's one thing I've learned from doing this is that farting is extremely normal compared to the shit that I've seen, heard of, and heard stories about from the models that come in and work for us. So, trust me, wearing a dress and dressing up like a grandma, taking people's phone calls, nothing wrong with that, brother.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm happy to hear it, and I love it, man, So, dude, you know what? Keep it up. Do you have anything that you want to plug for anyone who might be listening, or are we keeping it fully anonymous?
I mean, hey, just check out our OnlyFans, onlyfans.com/fetishnature. You can basically go on Google and type in Fetish Nature Films, and our clips for sale will pop up with all of our clips and videos. You can go to fetishnature.com. You can find our podcast, Fetish Nature Films Podcast. We're on Twitter, Fetish Nature. Come check us out.
Oh, that's interesting. You do a podcast. Okay, yeah, sick. Definitely, everybody tune in to Fetish Nature and buy some fart porn. All right, if that's what you're into, dude. And yeah, fuck yeah. Do you plan on branching out into anything else, or are you just keeping it all farts for now?
Oh, we do feet stuff. We do farts. We do ass licking, ass mothering. We do bondage. We do everything. Farting is the most popular one.
Oh, okay, interesting. So kind of a little bit of everything. All right. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a smorgasbord of, how do I say this? Extravagant experiences, then tune on in to Fetish Nature. Fuck yeah, man. Thank you so much for calling in to Grandma's Late Night Hotline. And it's been a blast. It's actually very enlightening. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you very much. Yeah. Having a good night, Grandma.
Yeah, you too, brother. Peace. Huh. Kind of crazy, you never know what might be the next ticket to ride in life, right? You start huffing some farts, and next thing you know, you're a millionaire. That's fucking kind of awesome, Our next caller here has an interesting idol. Let's see what they're up to. What do they pick up for us here? I know it's late on a Sunday. It's tough out here. But they can tell us more. Hello, yes. This is Grandma from Grandma's Late Night Hotline. How's it going, my man?
What's up, Grandma? Dude, I'm
not much.
On Do Not Disturb. I'm glad I kept it off today.
Oh, excellent. I am too, actually. I hope I'm not disturbing you, am I?
No. We're chilling, man. How's Grandpa doing?
Grandpa's doing good for a dead person, he's he's doing okay. Yeah.
You're still collecting his Social Security checks?
Yeah, of course. I'm the guy that Elon Musk was complaining about. It's me. Yeah.
Oh, Grandma.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I got to get money somehow, some way. But yeah, man. So I have a voice message here that you have somewhat of an interesting idol that you praise to every day. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah. He's Gordon. He's the number 4 train. He's a steam train. I only learned that recently. I thought he was a diesel engine, but he's a steam train. He's the strongest of all the trains, and he's really just a helpful guy. So yeah, Gordon loves all. And there's a big train station in the sky. When you die, you get to go to the big train station. There is a bus station in the down place, but nobody goes there. And I know you're thinking, everybody goes to the big train station, even him. Yep, even him. He's up there
Really?
hanging out. I know he killed a lot of people. Yeah, everyone just gets a second chance. Gordon loves all.
Oh, so wait, Gordon has killed a lot of people?
Oh, no, I was just saying everyone gets to go to the great train station in the sky, even him being Hitler. That's always the question. Does everyone get to go? Yeah. Sorry for the confusion there.
Oh, no. That's okay. I'm glad that you clarified, actually. So you mean to tell me that if I subscribe to the Gordon track of life, I am guaranteed a ticket to the train station way up above?
You don't even have to believe in Gordon. He truly loves all. Everyone's going to the big train station. Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible. So now when you learned that he was...
There's no ifs, ands, or buts, because every religion, every single one, they say that their God loves everyone. But then there's always like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. They're like, he loves everyone, except for them. Yeah.
Right. And is there any like class or like sexuality or like, any form of life that is on the bottom of the list, or is everyone seen equally in the eyes of Gordon?
Everyone's seen equally in the eyes of Gordon. Gordon is love.
Really? So Gordon, you mean the engine number 4 from Thomas the Tank Engine?
Yeah, but we don't talk about Thomas. Please don't say that again. He's the Antichrist.
Oh, I apologize. I will never bring up.
We don't fear him. We can speak his name. I'm sorry. I got a little nervous there. I get nervous. He shows up in my nightmares sometimes.
Really? And like, so what was the most recent nightmare that you've had with T in it?
Thank you for that. I know I asked not to say it, but I think we should. I think we should embrace it. I think we should embrace our fears, and we should face it head on. My most recent nightmare, that is a really good question. I'd say it's a couple nights ago. It's a recurring dream where I'm in the international patty cake competition in Belgium. It's held once quarterly, so every 25 years or so, so people don't know about it. And so I'm there, and I'm about to win because I've been doing patty cake a long time. I'm 35, but I've been doing patty cake, I think, for like 42 years now.
Really?
Some time scaling stuff. Yeah, there's just some time scaling stuff. Anyway, so yeah, I'm there. I'm about to win the competition, and he's little. He's like a little guy in this one. I start to feel like some little wheels rolling over my toes, but I got to focus. I got to watch my hands. I got to watch what I'm doing. I'm about to win the quarterly patty cake competition in Belgium. That's totally a real thing that I'm not making up. And then I just hear this like little chicka 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 choo choo. Except his choo choo sounds like juju, because he just likes to throw in racial slurs wherever he can find them, because he's fucking Thomas, you know?
Right. Classic Thomas. Classic T-Bone, of course.
Yep. And then I can't move, because in your dreams sometimes, you kind of move like you're in Jell-O.
Right.
So my hands are slowing down. I'm doing good on patty cake. My hands start slowing down. I can't move, and then I eventually look down. He's chugging his way up my leg, and then he does the Ant-Man to Thanos, if you know what I'm talking about.
I can't say that I do, but
and he gets really big.
Mm-hmm.
He's little at first, and then he goes up my leg, and he goes in my butt, and then he starts to grow in my butt, and then after he starts to grow, that's when I wake up, and with flop sweats and everything.
Wow, I can understand why it's hard for you to say his name or even envision him. There's a lot of trauma surrounding this, and that's something that I've noticed about Thomas and trauma is they both start with T. Now Gordon starts with G. You know what else starts with G?
Yeah,
good vibes, and that's why Gordon is our hero.
I like it. I like where your head's at.
Yeah, man, I've thought a lot about this since I got your voicemail. I've thought about I really am kind of lost here in the world, and I am looking for something or someone to follow, and Gordon kind of fills that hole for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, would you like to pray with me? It's a simple prayer.
I mean, I would love to. Sure, let's pray.
Yeah,
for Gordon. To Gordon.
Also, sort of a ritualistic chant. So, if I was there with you now, Grandma, what we would do is we would join hands as you would with a typical prayer. I'm going to take a deep breath in. That's the signal. It's about to start. And then we just slowly chant Gordon's names 3 times.
Oh, I would love to. I have my hands out right now. I'm imagining I'm holding yours, and I'm ready when you are. Just tell me when to breathe and tell me when to chant.
Yeah, just a brief sort of, sidebar here. My hands are out, and I'm holding your hands too. I feel them. Have the neighbor kids not been doing the yard? Have you been doing the yard again? Because your hands feel a bit rough right now.
I have been doing the yard. Since Grandpa died, I've had to take things, kind of into my own hands, if you will. Yard work's not easy, and I'm glad that you're here to share this moment with me. Thank you.
Yeah, but I'm Venmoing the Clarkson boys every week to do your yard.
Well, yeah, I should be honest with you. The Clarkson boys aren't necessarily yard keepers so much as morphine salesmen. They cut me off at the hospital, and
interesting.
Grandma needs her morphine.
You know what they could use in their life?
For you to keep paying them so I can get more morphine is what they could use.
Yeah, that and the love of Gordon.
That's true, and the love of Gordon, absolutely. So I'm here. I'm holding your hands. By the way, your hands feel very soft. Have you been using lotion?
I've been moisturizing.
Really, I can tell.
I've been moisturizing. I recently found out that you don't have to masturbate with shampoo because I just thought that stinging was part of the process. I found out you can use conditioner. And conditioner is basically just lotion for your hair. So my hands have been getting really soft, which is like a sick side effect.
That's incredible. Yeah. I've noticed, in the past, your hands have been very, very dry and coarse. I guess that's from the frequent shampoo usage, if you will. But I guess that you've picked things up since then, and I appreciate that.
35 years. You learn something new every day. All right, so I'll begin this. I'll begin this prayer. So we're holding hands. I'm gonna breathe in 3 Gordons. That's it.
Okay. All right. Ready?
Gordon. That's it.
And that's it, huh? Wow. I feel much better now. I feel whole. I feel complete. Oh my God. I'm filled with the rays of the Gordon energy.
Yeah. I like to think of it as his steam flap opens up and he fills me with the hot warmth of his steam.
Oh, now you're talking. Let's go. I've
never said that out loud before. It was more of a personal belief, and now I'm realizing what that sounds like.
No, that's good though. My last caller actually makes quite a lot of money off of steam flaps being opened up and huffing them. So yeah, that's beautiful, man. Yeah,
I didn't hear the last caller, but I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah. I'll allow you to fill in your own blanks on that, So speaking of steam, let me ask you a question. When you found out that Gordon was not a diesel engine and a steam engine, did that at all color your opinion of him?
No, because he's always been the same person he's been, That would be like if you were blind and then you just found out your best friend was a different color. You'd be like, all right, whatever, dude, you're still my best friend.
You know what, man? That is real love, and that's powerful. I wish that I could look that openly to the world as a whole. I mean, wow, man. What other than Gordon? What's going on in your life? What are you doing out here these days?
Hold on. Oh, I can't use my phone while I'm on my phone. I was going to give you my exact address and phone number. We're having a party at the La Quinta Inn down the street.
Yeah, I would love that. Maybe don't do it live on stream. That might be, a bit dangerous. But I know
what I'll do. Okay, sorry for interrupting so much, but I just realized it's a really easy way for people to find me. I'll just give my social security number a shout out. People can Google that, and they can just kind of find where I live. So it's going to be 030-81-9405.
That's, pretty easily memorable. So if you're ever looking to join the Church of Gordon and you need to locate are you like a leader of sorts in the church?
There's no hierarchy. There's no nothing. Every sort of evil that you could pinpoint on institutionalized religion, we got none of that.
Really? So there's no tithing. I don't need to donate. I don't need to do any contributions financially to the church.
No, absolutely not. I think you can contribute to your own life and your own happiness and your own well-being and the well-being and love of those around you. And I think Gordon would be really pleased with that, you know? Or you could become a maniacal psychopath who kills a lot of people and he would still love you. So it's really your choice. You can be a scumbag. It's dawning on me that this religion doesn't really motivate any self-growth.
That's interesting. So, I mean, like, how do you keep the people of the Gordon Church in line, right? Like, if there are no rules and you get to experience the loving afterlife, I don't know if I want to share the afterlife with the world's darkest criminals and, like, Hitler and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's got to be some barrier for entry, don't you?
I mean, you would think that, but I'm not sure of the logistics because I'm not dead. But I presume when you get up there, you probably have like an enlightening experience with Gordon that might strip away all these veils you've put around yourself and really bring out the core of who everyone is. And at the end of the day, I think that's love. I think Gordon thinks that's love.
You know what? You've changed me. You really have in this call. You've really brought me to a higher place, you know. And I thank you for that. And to anyone who might be listening, this is your time to act now and to become a follower of Gordon and this whole movement.
Awesome, thank you. I appreciate the shout out. I'm trying to name us the Gordonites. It's not catching on very well, you know, because anytime you put a name to something, an indictment is going to follow very soon. So a lot of people haven't been excited about Gordonites, but you know, it sounds like a cool word, and it reminds me of toy soldiers from what, the late '90s, the Gorgons.
Yeah, it's very similar to that. And I love Gordonites, but I can understand how there might be a little bit of like backlash, a little push, but that's okay. That's what happens with any good idea, my friend. No one will ever take a good idea at face value. So now, before you go, do you mind if I ask you, what is the most positive thing that Gordon has brought into your life?
Oh, good question. Community. I tend to self-isolate. And so he's brought community into my life and a reason to gather and be social and build a community. Yeah. It's a pretty easy one.
Huh. That's nice. And what is, have you had any bad experiences with Gordon other than, you know, the nightmares, the constant never ending nightmares of Thomas? Have you ever had any moments where you're like, I'm not really sure about this?
No. I've never hesitated. There might come a time in my life, but not yet.
And how long have you been following Gordon?
It's a good question. I found Gordon in the bottom of a child's toy box maybe 3 years ago now. 2 or 3 years ago.
And what exactly were you doing in this toy box?
I just saw a toy box. I was in a stranger's house, and then I wandered into the child's room, and then I just found a toy box.
Okay,
and it was like a Wednesday. That's like a Wednesday activity, right? I think.
Right. So you oftentimes find yourself like kind of muddling around in like strangers' children's toy boxes.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer like lurking and leering, but.
Okay, that's more of a preference for you. I like that. So like, give me an idea of what do you do? Like, what is your? Are you making?
Grandma, there's an alligator coming in the back door.
Okay,
I gotta get this alligator out of. It's fucking Fred again. All right, I love you, Grandma.
I love you too. You know what? Get that alligator. Be safe, and remember, Gordon loves you. Okay. Thank you so much.
Praise be unto.
Absolutely. Yes. To you as well. Bye-bye. Grandma loves you. Interesting. A real tale of spiritual enlightenment, love, and happiness over here in Grandma's Late Night Hotline. We really have found something special. Now we just had a little bit of a snafu here. We're just gonna try and fix this. Sorry about this, everybody. Just accidentally the same. Hang on here. All right, everybody, just stay tuned with me 1 second. You know how much we love technical difficulties here in Grandma's Late Night Hotline. It looks like we have a caller here that has had a near-death experience. Let's see what happens. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? This is Grandma's Late Night Hotline. Here. With me 1 moment.
Try it this time.
Hello, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
All right, excellent. Did you have me on speakerphone by any chance? I heard a little bit of an echo. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I got to put you on speaker. My phone's messed up. I can't hear you otherwise.
Okay. No, that's all right. I don't think I hear the echo anymore, so I think we should be all right. All right. How's it going? I'm Grandma. You've reached Grandma's Late Night Hotline. Now, we have a message here that you have had a near-death experience. Is this correct?
Yeah, it was my second one, actually.
Interesting. So, what exactly happened? Tell me more.
Well, on this one here, the last one on April 16th, I was having an angiogram at the Bay Pines Veterans Hospital, and they installed a stent or a catheter into me and decided to put a stent in my heart. And after they took everything out and thought everything was okay, I went into cardiac arrest, and they gave me they drained the defibrillator on me. I didn't know you could do that, but they drained the defibrillator, and they called me, were ready to tag and bag me. And meanwhile, I thought, being I didn't get any sleep the night before, I thought I had just fallen asleep during this. And I was in and I don't dream when I sleep, usually for the last 29, 30 years. And I thought I was just having a dream that I was in this cold, dark, it was like being in outer space, just a cold, dark vacuum of both time and space. Everything was just there, but it wasn't there. It was totally black. And I heard my late Siamese cat, he's been gone for 20 years. I heard him meowing. I heard my kids saying, "Come on, Dad, let's go." And I heard my girlfriend saying, "We're going to be late." I heard my late father telling me it's not time. And then I heard my band, the Hot and Boxcars up in Pennsylvania, playing one of our songs, "Hopping Over the Moon." And then I heard the band I'm in down here, the Sidewalk Poets, playing the Marrakesh Express. And I was like, what the hell's going on? I saw this little tiny pinprick of light. I said, oh, let me go check it out. It's kind of dark in here. And I went and checked it out, and that's when I got to the light. All of a sudden, I popped back to life, and they didn't tell me till the next day when they were discharging me from the VA, but my surgeon told me that we gave them quite a scare because they were ready to basically they called me as dead, and I came back on my own. So they were kind of surprised, and they changed the name in my room on the little whiteboard from Ziggy to Lazarus. And I just went back on Thursday for my 1 month checkup, and they were still calling me Lazarus.
Wow.
So,
So you did die?
yeah, I was pronounced dead.
Whoa,
Yep,
that's crazy. Oh,
I thought I just took a nap, but no, I was pronounced dead. They were ready to tag and bag me.
holy shit, man. So like, what's it like now on the other side of all of that? Like, have you found anything monumental surrounding this experience?
Just the fact that I'm still alive, and like I said, it's the second time I got hit when I was in the Navy on January 19th, 1979, driving home from Virginia Beach, Virginia, in my I just got it back, my 1968 Dodge Charger SCXT, $9,000 worth of work. Thing was a dream car, and I stopped to get gas on Route 13 in the southbound lane. I was headed north, but gas was cheaper over there, so I filled up. And as I got back in my car and took off, get back in the northbound lane, right where I crossed Route 24, somebody, a homeless guy, they found out 4 months later, driving a stolen car that he had hotwired, came across the median, which was kind of a gully, which kind of made him go airborne. He was going so fast, and he kind of landed on the hood of my car, which um, flipped my car up, and I didn't have my seatbelt on. I wouldn't be talking to you now, and I ended up going up through the windshield, and um, I don't remember anything after that. I always still have that moment I see in my head where it was actually in the middle of, I had a 8-track player in the Panasonic cockpit above the on the T-top there, and it was just in the middle of Freebird by Leonard Skinner, like a near. And
That's a perfect song to die to, man. That is like, that's crazy. Okay, yeah.
So, so I was in a coma. So the car that hit me and my car went through an old Sinclair gas station, burst into flames. Nobody was in there because it was a gas station that was getting ready to be shut down eventually. And so they couldn't identify who hit me, and they didn't even realize that I wasn't in the car until an observant EMT just happened to see a blood trail going down an embankment, and they backed me out to Andrews Air Force Base, where I was in a coma for 3.5 days. And then I came out of my coma, and I had all kinds of operations and shit going on, and and they transferred me to Bethesda National Navy Hospital. So from January, and I had the same experience. It was cold, dark, vastness of both time and space. It was just like I was just kind of floating. There was no singing cherubs, no pearly gates, none of that. It was kind of weird. And I saw the white dot that I happened, a speck of light, and I just followed that. I mean, I'm talking a pinprick of light. It was pitch black where I was in that state. And so I came back from that one and worked my ass off once I got into recovery mode. And I was actually in the hospital from January 19th until October 4th of 1980. I went my 21st birthday. That's where I spent it, and had to learn how to walk, talk, read, write, play guitar, sing all over again. Kind of like starting over right there. And got out, went back to my ship, the USS Josephus Daniels CG-27, and they decided that since our executive officer was in charge, that anybody that had left, hadn't been on the ship, automatically get charged. So I woke up the next morning handcuffed and leg shackled to my rack, and charged with desertion, missing ship's movement, and malingering, faking an injury. I mean, I didn't even have
Malingering.
scar on my head.
Malingering. What does that even mean?
Faking an injury.
Mm.
They tried it. So they threw me in the brig for pre-trial confinement, where I got to spend 104 days there. And then I went to court martial. The judge just sat there and said, why is he in here again? And totally dropped all the charges against me. And I got out and ended up not supposed to be going back to my ship, but I ended up with some messed up paperwork, and they did send me back to that shift, so I had to deal with that until I got my discharge. But yeah, that was not a good year for me. 3 days less than a year, from January 19th until October 4th in a hospital, from October 5th to January 16th the following year in a brig. So my only time in a federal penitentiary.
Wow. So they threw you in the brig, and you spent like almost an entire year in there.
104 days I was in the brig for.
Holy shit! Yeah, dude, that's no joke. So they actually have a brig.
Federal penitentiary, military style.
Okay. Interesting. Wow.
Norfolk, Virginia.
Dude, holy shit, that's no joke. So, after you got out of that circumstance, did you imagine yourself dying and living again?
What just happened to me last month? No, I didn't think that would ever happen. But now the way I'm looking at it is, those are 2 of my lives. I still have 7 to go.
There you go, dude. That's pretty good too. I mean, you got whiles to go if you're looking at it like that. Dude, that's awesome. So has there been anything like extremely profound that you've learned from these experiences? Like, is there some wise words of wisdom that you want to leave to the people of the world?
Just live your life to the fullest, man. Do everything that you want to do, that you think you can do, that you've been trying to do, that you dream of doing. Try to do it if you can. If you want to play music, like I always wanted to play music, find an instrument that suits you and learn to play it. Just do something that makes you happy, and that's the key to life. Just stay happy, stay positive. Positivity will breed a lot more positivity. That was my biggest thing. I just sat and said, this is going to be over soon. This will be over soon. I couldn't believe it wasn't over soon, but I kept saying it's going to be over soon. And I'm not a religious person whatsoever. I was attacked before my 16th birthday by a Catholic priest who had the keys to my parents' house, because my mom thought it would be cool to give it to him so he didn't have to drive home drunk the extra 2 miles. And I beat the living crap out of him and gave him 2 black eyes and broken finger, and knocked out 2 of his top front teeth. And I kind of lost any belief in any deity at the time. And to me, religion is man made by man to control mankind with fear, intimidation, oppression, violence, and death. And so I had to deal with that too, because everybody's like, "Oh, God saved you." It's like, no. Some really good EMT saved me the first time, and I said, and really good doctors saved me both times. I said, so there's, you said that, why would God let me have the damn accidents in the first place? Why would God let my heart, why waste the time doing that? If he's ready for me, just take me. I just personally don't believe in a deity like that, but that's just me. But I just feel like your question, to answer your question, just be good and have fun doing what makes you happy, as long as you're not hurting anybody, of course. But
right. Yeah. So what was your first thing that you did after you died and then came back to life? Like, what was your first meal? Where'd you go? What'd you do?
Well, so I got back into my room, not knowing at the time that I was pronounced dead. I got a phone call, actually, from the owner. 5 minutes after I got into my room, I got a phone call from the owner of the Drunken Taco, wanting me to run an open mic for him, which is what I'll be doing tomorrow night, running an open mic for him. I'm trying to remember, it's a month ago, I just can't remember. I think they bought me something to eat. Of course, in the hospital, they're checking out your heart, but they give you food that's loaded in cholesterol or high fructose corn syrup, which makes no sense to me, even in a VA hospital. And Bay Pines is really good. I got to admit, I was surprised how, that my room was like a luxury suite. I had it all to myself. They had a couch, and my girl could stay over if I wanted her to. It was no big deal.
That's nice.
Hours, anytime, yeah. So that was nice. And what else did I do? I guess I made some phone calls and told people, that, hey, I just had this, because to me, I just thought I had 2 stents put in. I didn't even find out until the next day, on the 17th, when I got discharged, that I had been pronounced dead. That they didn't tell me, because they didn't want to get me upset. they wouldn't let me get adjusted to this, two pieces of metal shoved into my damn heart right now. Which the only reason I have those in there is because I have stage 3 chronic Lyme disease with 3 tick-borne co-infections, and the one babesiosis causes bone, my bone, actually my muscle mass to shrink up, my bone density shrinks up, and we just found out it causes narrowness of all my blood vessels, which is why I ended up getting 2 stents put into me. So, yeah, watch yourself. If you get bit by a tick, make sure if it's a black-legged deer tick, you get checked out.
Yeah, definitely. Lyme's disease is like no fucking joke. I'm always terrified of getting Lyme's disease. I've spent a lot of time in the woods, and thankfully, I don't think I've ever gotten it, at least to my knowledge. But
yep. And just to let you know, it's there's no S ever at the end of Lyme disease. It's named after. So this is what happened. Operation Paperclip had the U.S. bring in a bunch of world-renowned scientists, and they brought in even Nazi scientists, and they brought them to the biological weapons testing facility at Lab 257 in Plum Island, New York. And here they were supposed to take the qualities of animals, plants, and insects, enhance them, load them back into the bodies of the subjects, and then have them used in war. So Dr. Berger de Fori, who the Lyme spirochete itself is named after him, Borrelia burgdorferi, he decided he was going to take the bacteria from a black-legged deer tick, real tiny little suckers when they're fully engorged, they're like the size of the head of a pin maybe. And he decided he was going to take these suckers and he was going to take their bacteria out, which is a spirochete, which is basically the same as like syphilis or something like that they can drill into you. It's like they got like a little tail. It looks almost like a sperm with a freaking drill bit in the front, like a squirrely thing. And if you blow one up. So he decided to take these, enhance them, and got them back into the ticks. Well, they lost control of these ticks because they're so tiny. All chaos ensued. And freaking birds have their way, rats and mice have their way, and deer have their way of transmitting ticks. And these are deer ticks, like black-legged deer ticks to begin with. And deer can swim about 12 miles, and it's about 11 miles from Plum Island, New York, where Lab 257 was, across the Connecticut River to Old Lyme, Connecticut, which is where the first outbreak took place, which is why it's called Lyme disease. And back in the 70s, they didn't even know what it was, and it's what they call the great imitator, the great pretender, because it mimics so many different diseases and medical maladies, like fibromyalgia, lupus, chronic fatigue syndrome. They thought I had Parkinson's disease, and when I first went in, because my hands were shaking from working at Sprint from 80 to 100 plus hour weeks, which you don't get sleep, your hands start to shake. And they said, "Oh, you have Parkinson's," which scared the bejesus out of me. And then I didn't find out I actually had Lyme until I saw a Lyme literate medical doctor up in Pennsylvania, and which is probably where I got my bite was up in Pennsylvania, as I call it. And so yeah, they misdiagnosed me and told me I had Parkinson's, which people that get Lyme, people that get diagnosed with any kind of disease, they need to get really checked out to see if they have Lyme. That's what I'm saying there, because as I said before, ticks' lives don't matter. And I will make stickers and banners to say that, because truly, what are they good for? Absolutely nothing. They're just little bloodsuckers that give you diseases. So that's what I deal with on a daily basis, my battle on top of degenerative osteoarthritis and degenerative bone disease, which that accident back I told you about didn't help. And I've had 22 documented concussions. I hit my head a lot. When your head's as big as mine, it's like a big bullseye. You hit everything. And
right.
Post-concussion syndrome, you only need one to have that. And I literally have 22 documented ones. Got the last one a couple of years ago.
So it seems
but
like
other than that,
despite all of that, you managed to still keep going. I mean, do you have any secrets to just keeping pushing in the world?
I try to eat well. I eat organically. I don't eat junk food. I haven't been to a fast food place since 1983. I haven't
Wow.
drank soda. I haven't drank soda since 1983. Totally don't want anything to do with soda because, except maybe Sierra Mist, I'll eat stuff with real sugar in it, but not a lot of sugar because people don't realize how much sugar is in everything. I read every label, salt and sugar, and the main thing that I stay away from is high fructose corn syrup. That's not good for anybody, and they just do it to keep you addicted to the food. Just like with cigarettes, they put added nicotine and then added tar into the cigarettes, so you want more. Now, personally, I've never even held a cigarette in my hand. I'll be 67 in June. I've never smoked one. I've never had chewing tobacco. I'm highly allergic to an alkaloid. Both my parents smoked. They both died of COPD, so I didn't want to do something that's stupid. Why do that? I'm a cannabis user, and that's pretty much it. I don't touch any other drugs. I don't right now because of my heart. I have to take a blood thinner and this anti-cholesterol drug for 6 months, and it's the first time I've had to take any drugs since I had both hips replaced in 2006 and 2007 when I had to take Coumadin, which is basically rat poison, blood thinner because my INR was so high. But other than that, man, just live your life, be happy. Um, you know, find someone that makes you happy if we can. My girl, she's almost 20 years younger than me. She puts up with me. I put up with her, and we have a great relationship most of the time here. Sometimes, relationships take work, and I always tell people try to show. One of my little pet things that I always tell people is because they say, "Man, you're like the coolest dude, man." They're like, "Why you always, like I know that guy just dissed you like a couple years ago, and you're acting all nice to him right now." And I said, "Listen, I said I might not like that person. I said for what they did, and I said, and I never forget, but I'm not going to show a grudge in front of other people in public because that makes me look like an idiot if they don't know the whole story." I said, and my thing is, I show unabashed, unadulterated, and unconditional love to all all human beings, all creatures actually. And other than like my girlfriend, my kids, and my family, it's that's kind of laser beamed in. But for everybody else, it's not directed at anybody in particular. I just kind of try to make it my state of mind. And if everybody makes showing love and compassion and empathy to other people, their state of mind, man, this world would be such a so much of a better place. It's like if we all hold hands, nobody can fight. You
Yeah,
try to think of that
absolutely.
kind of philosophy. You know,
Yeah,
so
absolutely, man. That's a good message to leave on. I love that. And I agree with that. Just do the best that you can to forgive people in life and just like live in as much peace as you can, at least, right? So,
yep.
hey, thank you so much for your call. And I'm glad that you managed to fight through two deaths and you're out here just fucking pushing, man. And the
Yeah,
name of
man.
your band is what? The Hoppin' Boxcars, correct?
The band up in Pennsylvania is called the Hoppin' Boxcars. I also play with my buddy Blind Man Mike up there in a band called the Kia Z. But Hoppin' Boxcars is my primary number one band. You can find us on all the streaming stations: Pandora, iTunes, Radio, or iHeartRadio, Spotify. We're on Amazon, and we're on the Apple iTunes Music Store. The band that I'm in down here in St. Petersburg, Gulfport, Florida area is called the Sidewalk Poets. We just played last night. We have a singer she's signed with Casablanca. She's really, really good. She plays all around the world. And then I'm in another band here with the same percussionist drummer who's actually from Pennsylvania and played in bands in Pennsylvania with my fellow bandmates. Comes down here and we've been playing for 4 months. And I knew he was from Pennsylvania, but I didn't have a clue. He's friends with my friends and played in bands with my bandmate friends up there. And now he's been in another band here, the Pencil Tucking Ninjas, as well as the Sidewalk Poets. He plays. This guy Dr. Todd May, really cool guy, good percussionist. But I just thought that's kind of an ironic, wow story.
Yeah.
This guy's I've been playing with him for 4 months and didn't realize that I knew he was from Pennsylvania, but I did not realize that he even knew my friends up there, let alone played in the same band, with them. So that kind of blew my mind. But yeah, those are the
That's
bands
awesome.
I'm in. So
Yeah, so I mean, anyone who's listening, tune in to see what's up with the two-time survivor himself and all the many bands that he's in, dude. That's awesome. I honestly, I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you're still doing what you're doing, man. Thank you so much for being a part of Grandma's Late Night Hotline. This has been a treat and very inspiring for me. I feel like now I have new initiative to just kind of get out there and do what you got to do in life and enjoy yourself, right? Isn't that what it's all about?
It's what it's all about, man. I mean, the world is a cruel place to begin with. We're driving through space. It's what 71,000 miles per hour. You don't even realize it as we're rotating around through. We could have a unseen asteroid or comet, come smash us at any moment, and you never know. But then that doom and gloom factor is always there. It's always, built into the religious fables and stuff like that. The end of the world is apocalypse is going to happen. I block all that shit out. Anything that happens to me, I look at things that are positive, and I just sit there and look at what's happening right now at that moment. Even if there's something bad happening like a negative, and then if something else bad happens right after that, you know what? I'm going to find something positive because it's a double negative, which is a positive. And like I said, positivity will breed more positivity. And if everybody just stays positive and does the right thing, keeps their character, their morals, their virtues, and integrity and honor, then this whole world would be a much better place, and we would only have to worry about things coming at us from like outer space or volcanic eruptions or earthquakes and stuff like that we can't control. But we can control our interactions with humans. And one of the big things I really would like to see is that they cut back on one-time use plastics. There's so much trash out there. I just came back from the beach today, and I can't tell you how many bags of trash I picked up, which is mostly one-time use plastic products, and God, that drives me crazy. But that's a whole nother subject.
That is a whole nother thing. You know what? Let's end it on the positive. The positive being to just enjoy the life that you have to its fullest. You know what? Thank you so much, man, for calling into Grandma's Late Night Hotline. It has been a real treat. Stay alive out there, bro. We need you here, all right? Keep spreading that positivity, and remember, Grandma loves you.
All right, love you too, bro. Hope to see you later.
All right, take it easy, man. All right, our next caller here happened to have had a little bit of a mess on his roommate's desk. Let's see what that's all about. It's a good message, though, from a man who's died 2 times. Just keep it positive, okay? That's all we have to do. Simple request, right?
Hello?
Hello? Yes, hello. This is Grandma from Grandma's Late Night Hotline. We got a voicemail from you about a little bit of a mess that you might have made on your roommate's desk.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what happened was one time we were at this party at school, and I came home, and I guess I had blacked out. And, my girlfriend and I at the time were, did our thing. We were hanging out. So I was naked, took a
You were naked?
I was naked, right? My girlfriend and I were hanging out. We got naked. I'm now back home in my place, right? And then I take a bong rip, and all of a sudden it just, I guess, upsets my stomach. So I climb over the desk, which I'm taking the bong rip, the window is right in front of the desk, so I'm taking it out the window. So I climb up on the desk and start throwing up out this window, and end up shitting on my roommate's desk and going to bed and waking up to him being what the fuck? And I was just convinced him that it was the cat.
Okay, wait, hold on. So I have a lot of questions surrounding this issue. Okay, all right. So how did you wind up well, actually, no. I mean, it kind of makes sense. When I heard the voicemail first, I was like, how the fuck could this even possibly happen? But so it was just kind of a perfect circumstance, right? Where do you oftentimes smoke weed naked, or is this something that you?
Oh, it was post-sex, right?
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Right.
Yeah. Getting ready for bed. Didn't put any clothes back on afterwards, and then that's all that
Okay.
happened.
And now, do bong rips oftentimes make you have to puke and shit?
Well, I think the shit came from coughing so much and just like the way that I was sitting on his desk. You know what I mean?
Right. And dude, you didn't clean it up? You were just like,
fuck. Till the next morning. And I genuinely did not know I did it till the next morning.
So how long does he still not know that it was your shit on the desk?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of pieced it together. Like, I didn't really know, and he wanted to assume that it was the cat that we had at the time. But, yeah, it just didn't add up for it to be the cat, and it had to have been me.
Wow, have you shit in any like ridiculous places since then?
I don't think so. No, this was kind of a one-off.
What type of shit was this? Was it like a solid log, or was it just like a soupy disaster that you left on this guy's desk?
More the second one.
That's brutal, man. That is brutal. Yeah. Okay, so how did this impact your relationship with your roommate after this? Like, are you guys still cool?
Yeah, we lived together again the next year, and he's still my best friend.
Wow, that's what true friendship is all about. So I mean, what else is going on in your life these days?
I mean, I guess I'll use this. I'm a DJ, so shit. I don't want to put my name out there after the story, so never mind. But
yeah, of course, yeah,
I just graduated. Yeah, no, just graduated, so that's what's up.
In what? What does the infamous shit desk DJ do for a living? What do you do? I'm sorry, you cut out there for a second. What'd you say?
If you had to guess, what would it be?
Oh, if I had to guess, something incredibly benign. Honestly, I would say like an accountant or something.
Oh, yep, yeah, you're pretty spot on. Business management.
Okay, yeah, business, yeah, yeah, exactly. That makes sense. So now, have you introduced any kind of like fecal activities since this event, or is this kind of a one and done thing for you?
This is a one and done thing for this was a one and done.
Well, you hesitated there for a moment. I'm sorry. There's got to be something else that occurred. What else? What did you do?
All right. Well, I guess there was this one other time that I just remembered. That was actually the year prior. Same roommate, but not in the room this time. So.
Wait, he was in the room?
No. Like,
okay.
I wasn't in the room.
Oh, okay.
The bathrooms are like, so it's a communal bathroom, which is almost even worse. Fucking.
Right.
Yeah. So same situation, not as drunk, definitely pretty drunk. Took another bonger, put a little bit of tobacco in it, maybe too much tobacco, and I ran to the bathroom. I ended up trying to take a shit at first. And I was like, this is not working. And I just, stood up, turned around, and like bent over, I guess, to start throwing up over the toilet, and I shit all over on the wall behind me.
Dude, you gotta get in control of these bong rips and fucking
years ago. This is like multiple years ago.
Dude, I feel like I still feel like there's at least one or two oopsies in your future if you don't get in control of this, man. Like, you can't keep getting blackout drunk and ripping fucking Moki bowls, man. Like, you can't keep doing this, dude. What's up with this? Yeah.
Again,
Okay.
yeah, multiple years ago.
Right. All right. Well, you know what? Sure. I'll believe you on that. I feel like it was more recent than you're leading on to, but like, all right, sure. You know, I'll take your word for it. So like, what other things have occurred in your life? The voicemail that I have here says that you have a lot more crazy stories to tell me. I mean, are they all fecally related, or do you have
No.
something else?
No, I mean, we could do, like, the first time I went to a rave was pretty awesome. That was, again, with the same roommate and his hometown buddies. So the whole way this happened was that I left my wallet at his house, and I needed to go get it. And we were visiting our hometown families. So I was up north, or we were both up north, and lived like an hour away from each other up there. So I left my wallet at his house, go pick it up the next day, and he's like, yo, let's go like hang out at my buddy's house. Like, they're in town for a little bit. I want you to meet them. So we head over there. I walk in, and instantly all these guys are in tie-dye shirts. They're watching Fish live on the TV, like the band Fish. And just like instantly, you know, you get the vibe. These guys are some trippers for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they kind of start talking like, oh, you know, we got plans tonight. We're going to this rave, and my buddy starts trying to convince me to go. And again, I had plans the next morning early, so I needed to like just kind of grab my wallet and go back. And then we end up getting convinced to go to this rave with them. They convinced me to take acid for the first time. This is my freshman year of college, so quite a long time ago, almost 5 years ago. And yeah, taking acid for the first time. We get in the car. All of us took the acid. The kid who took it too, I didn't realize this at the time, then drove us almost 30 minutes to a different city. We walk into this apartment building in like downtown Philly, and you know, we're the only kids our age there, first off, and then let alone we're all tripping and wearing tie-dye shirts, and nobody else is wearing that. So then, yeah, we go in there, we're tripping, and then just there's whippets and ketamine just getting thrown around. So we end up doing some of that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's kind of like, it's kind of what you got to do in a rave, right? You know, you do a little whippets, you do a little ketamine, you have a little fun, you know?
Yeah, have a little fun, yeah. And we're literally in what feels like a cave, but it's just somebody's unfinished basement, and there's a picket fence there, and on the other side of that is just a DJ. Like, it was such an insane first experience to do a lot.
Yeah, typically a lot of these like underground raves aren't exactly the most well-funded establishments. You know, they're usually okay. Well, dude, that's sick. So you did a little drugs, you had a little fun, and there was no poop involved. I mean, you know, it's beautiful, man. Great. So real fast before we end our call, I do happen to notice your area code. Do you mind if I mention the area code, the city from which you are from, or would you prefer to remain totally anonymous?
No, you're fine. It's fine.
Dude, so are you a Birds fan? What do you think about this most recent victory, dude?
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm
dude,
absolutely...
fuck yeah. Can I get a go Birds, baby?
Of course, go Birds.
Fuck yeah, dude. You ready for another victory this year? We're going for the three-peat. I'm thinking that we're the new dynasty. You know, the Chiefs thought they were the dynasty. Get the fuck out of here. We're the new dynasty, baby.
I like that talk, Grandma, and I think we're on the same page with that. We just got to do it right. I don't want to see, because I'm not happy with some of the trades in the offseason, but I know that some of those defensive guys were a little bit more expensive and older. So, you know, it makes sense, but hopefully this, I like our first round pick a lot. So, yeah.
I think we got this. You know, I think that ultimately, like, it all boils down to spirit, right? Like, you can trade or buy or do this or that or the third thing, but there's no one. There is no one anywhere on this planet or this country that is going to match the spirit of the birds, baby. We're going back. We're doing it again. We're getting another Super Bowl. Let's fucking go.
Yes, sir.
And you know what? I hope that if we do get another Super Bowl, you shit somewhere that you should not again. Let's do it, baby. We're going to the top, all right?
Yo, if I do shit somewhere I shouldn't again, I'm calling you immediately.
Dude, please, I insist. For every time that you make an incorrect poop, please call me. I have, what else am I doing with my life? You know what I mean? I might as well be taking calls from the Philadelphia shitter. Yeah. So, yeah. It's been a pleasure, man. You know, you be safe out there in the world. And remember, no matter what happens, no matter where you shit, Grandma always loves you.
Thanks, Grandma. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Peace. How about that? You know, what a surprise. Philadelphia Eagles, man, has shit in a lot of crazy places and likes to go to raves. You know, what are the odds? I feel like I'm blown away by that. Now, our last caller of the evening here is hopefully going to pick up. It's a little late at this point, but they had an interesting profession in college that I want to know a lot about. I feel like, you know, if you're going to shit somewhere, you might as well do it on your roommate's desk. Why not? Right? It's a bonding experience. If you can get through that, you can get through anything. You know what I'm saying? Now, we'll see if this last caller picks up. Don't. Say la vie. We've been going for a while now, right?
This call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Let's give them a message back. Hey, this is Grandma from Grandma's Late Night Hotline. We got a voicemail about perhaps you did a couple happy endings, and I would like to know a little bit more about that. So please give me a call back at Grandma's Late Night Hotline. That's 813-330-0404. And we look forward to hearing from you. We want to know how many people did you jerk off? You know, what's the deal? Bye. Grandma loves you. Well, I think that's going to do it for me tonight, everybody. It has been a hoot. Very poop-themed evening, actually. I feel like there's been a lot of fecal matter. Started on fecal matter. It ended on fecal matter. And really, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's the thing that connects us all, isn't it? No matter who, no matter where. The richest man, the poorest man, we all got to poop, don't we? So thank you so much for tuning in to Grandma's Late Night Hotline. And remember, Grandma loves you. Be safe.